Steducentre Grade 6 2014 A&A Exam Review Maths. Part 2. Question 4.4. 7,140 divided by 15. Question 4.1 is 7,140 divided by 15. So here we need to identify the multiples of 15. So 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90, and 105. 15 goes into 71 4 times. 4 times 15 is 60. The difference between 71 and 60 is 11. Bring down the 4. 15 goes into 114 7 times. 7 times 15 is 105. 114 minus 105 will give you 9. Bring down the 0. 15 goes into 90 6 times. 6 times 90 is 50, so there is no remainder. So your answer is 476 times. Question 4.5. 4 and 3 over 8 plus 2 and 1 over 8 will give you. A fraction is part of a whole. The top number, the numerator, says how many parts we have, and the bottom number, the denominator, says how many parts are in the whole. So 4 plus 2 is equal to 6. 3 over 8 plus 1 over 8 is equal to 4 over 8. The lowest common denominator is equal to the least common denominator, also known as the lowest common denominator and abbreviated LCD. Is the least common multiple for all the denominators in the group of a fraction or rational expressions. In our case, the answer is going to be 6.5. Question 4.6. What is 2 over 5 of 300? A fraction is part of a whole. The top number, the numerator, says how many parts we have, and the bottom number, the denominator, says how many parts are in the whole. So 300 is made up of 5 parts, which is 60 a piece. 2 pieces is 60 plus 60, which is 120. So your answer is 120. 5 and 3 over 5 minus 2 and 1 over 5. A fraction is part of a whole. The top number, the numerator, says how many parts we have. The bottom number, the denominator, says how many parts the whole is. So 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. And 3 over 5 minus 1 over 5 is equal to 2 over 5. So your answer is 3 2/5. Question 4.8. What is 59.3 minus 25.8? 59.3 minus 25.8 will give you 33.5. A decimal is relating to or denoting a system of numbers and arithmetic based on the number 10, tenths, parts, and the powers of 10. Question 5. Complete. Brackets 14 divided by 2 close brackets plus brackets 51 minus 48 close brackets. It's important to follow the BODMAS rules. So it's brackets first, order second, division and then multiplication and then addition or subtraction. So 14 divided by 2 is 7 and 51 minus 48 is equal to 3. 7 plus 3 is equal to 10. So your correct answer is 10. Question 6. Rearrange the numbers from the smallest to the biggest. 4.5, 4.3, 4.01 and 4.8. A decimal relating to or denoting a system of numbers and arithmetic based on the number 10 parts and the powers of 10. So the order is 4.01, 4.3, 4.5 and 4.8. Question 7. Write down the multiples of 7 between 21 and 56. A multiple is a number that can be divided by another a certain number of times without a remainder. So for the multiples of 7, it is 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, etc. And the ones between 21 and 56 are 28, 35, 42, and 49. Question 8. If there are 8 sweets in a packet, how many packets can be filled with 947 sweets? You would have to do the division sum of 947 divided by 8. The 8 goes into the 9 ones with the remainder 1. 8 goes into 14 ones with the remainder 6. 8 goes into 67 8 times with the remainder 3. So your answer is 118 packets, remainder 3. Question 9. Complete. If 336 divided by 14 is equal to 24, then 24 times 14 is equal to? The answer is 336. Question 10. You have a quarter, 75%, and 0.5. Match each of the three numbers given below with the number above. So 10.1, 3 over 4 is equal to what? 10.2, 50% is equal to what? And 10.3, 0.25 is equal to what? It is important to know what a decimal, fraction, or percent is. A decimal is any number shown with a decimal point, a number based upon tenths and hundredths. Fraction, one or more of the equal parts of a whole, a number usually expressed in the form of A over B. A percent comes from the Latin word that means for each 100 or per 100. So 70%, 6.5 or 4.09%. The table below will show the different fractions and how the same fraction can be written as a decimal in a diagram out of 100 or as a percentage. Your answer for 10.1, 3 over 4 is equal to 75%, and 10.2, 50% is equal to 0.5, and 10.3, 0.25 is equal to 1/4. Question 11. Write down the number which is halfway between the two given numbers on the number line. You have 25,260 and 25,300. For question 11, we need to work out what is the difference between the two numbers. 25,300 minus 25,260 will give you 40. So you will add 20 to the lower number and you will subtract 20 from the higher number. Therefore, the number in the middle will give you 25,280. Question 12. Zonka receives 240 for his labor. He receives 12 times as much as Peter. How much did Peter get? Zonga got 240. Zonga has 12 times as much as Peter. Who has made more? Zonga. Therefore, Peter has 240 divided by 12, which is 20. Question 13. Fill in the missing number. 8 times 3 divided by what is equal to 1? Only numbers divided by themselves is equal to 1. So 8 times 3 is equal to 24. The missing number is therefore 24. 24 divided by 24 is equal to 1. Question 14. Look at the input and output numbers and complete the table. Your input numbers is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10. And your output numbers for the 2 is 5, for the 3 is 8, for the 4 is 11, for the 5 is 14. For the 10 we need to work out, and the output number of 42 we need to work out the input number. Number patterns have a relationship with each other, something in common that works for the whole pattern. In this case, the pattern is increasing by 1 at the top and 3 at the bottom. The only trick is that we are missing numbers in between that they did not ask for. If we included it, we'd be able to see the pattern much more clearly. The missing numbers are therefore 29 and 15. Thank you for watching the Steducentre, turning ordinary learners into extraordinary leaders.